TV besties, so much has transpired. I have so much, and I'm hoping that one, I take my time, I don't rush this, and really am able to get out everything that I have for this episode. Because, like, first off, Devon Franklin, I told y'all last week, that is my boy. And he came in and dropped some gems, okay? Not just on Eris and Jasmine, but he also met with Shaquille and Kirsten. And just like some, I wouldn't say sayings, but basically it was a certain thing. It was one thing that he said with them, and it's one thing that he said. He was one thing that he said with both couples, and it just really stuck. And okay, I feel like I'm about to go ahead and start rambling. First off, hey y'all, what is up? My oldies but goodies. What's good, babes? I'm glad y'all are back here catching up with me, getting another reaction recap about these crazy episodes. So, Married at First Sight, I think we're on episode 15. Whiskey, a no-no. Which I'm not exactly sure why the episode was named Whiskey a No-No. I don't know if I really caught on to that. They did go whiskey tasting or just a whiskey distillery, whatever. I don't really know. They went to this whiskey place and that got really deep. People dropped some bombs, some good bombs, of course. People stormed out. Like, it was a lot going on. So again, welcome if you are new here. I'm your girl Ash. Welcome to Ash Recaps, where you basically get my recap / reaction to some of our favorite shows, episodes of our favorite shows, basically. So let's just go in and jump on it. So I think I didn't just held y'all on like a little bit long. So stick around. Don't drop off the video just yet. I appreciate it if you watch it all the way through. So just getting right into it, because like I said, I want to really try to hit on every single thing, right? So off top, like I said, Devon Franklin, they brung out boy. They brung out blood, and I feel like he was on last season as well. I don't feel like this was his first time on Marriage at First Sight. I do believe they have brought him around. Yes, he did. They did bring him around last season. So he's here. He's here definitely to, sit down with Jasmine and Eris and bring just some different, perspective, and to help them to communicate what it is that they need from each other, in this marriage. And he first sat with Jasmine first. And, of course, we know that Jasmine's thing is, she's non-confrontational, and she's a sweep the rug under the rug type of person. So, and then feeling like, that he's trying to get deep, but then she's not there, and her feeling like she didn't have as traumatic events that he has when she, actually, did. And when she, and even with her family not even knowing that she had been bullied, that she was being bullied in school, and basically how basically she has started this pattern of sweeping things under the rug. And of course now it's present in her marriage. She didn't see how conflict was resolved in relationships. So, that also is going to play a part here. That's not going to, help her to want to really communicate. And she's already a sweep under the rug, type of person. So him, helping to bring out those things in her is more just like, let's figure out the why. And obviously she had expressed it before, I feel like, that she didn't want to speak up for herself in regards to how she was feeling, because she was worried about Eris's response, and ultimately at the end of the day him just saying like he's not in this. And Devon told her like, at the end of the day, it's not your job to figure out how he's feeling. What I want to encourage you to do is to just speak your truth, just to tell him how you feel and what it is that you need or want from this marriage, from this relationship, from him. That's what we need, to start there. That's the what she needs, to overcome, So, and knowing that, right, the response may not be what she wants it to be. Okay, that is all right. The point is that you were able to get yourself out there and put it out there so that you can know what that response is, so that you're not living in this fantasy within your head about what's happening or what's going on in your relationship. And when he met with Eris, y'all, I don't know. I was a bit disappointed. I don't know if I wanted more out of Eris. I don't know if I you could just hear, it was just like, bro, yeah, you're not trying. You're not trying. You're not trying. And I was glad that Devon was able, obviously, was there. He was definitely asking those right questions, kind of like digging in deep. Clearly, we all could see that he wasn't putting in an effort. I mean, we really didn't need him to say it. And then even Eris was even saying to herself that, I mean, not Eris, Jasmine was even saying like, oh yes, he would say it. We would talk about how he's going to make these changes. And it's disappointing. And the more I was just sitting here, I was just like, this ain't gonna be it. This ain't gonna be it. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't know what this man is thinking, where he's at, like why he's not making an effort, why he's not taking an initiative. But I'm just like, stop wasting this girl's time. Like, actually, low key. I don't know. Like low key, it's making me think like he's just sticking around so that he's looking like a good guy, so he's looking like his. But it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, this ain't gonna be it. I'm not attractive, and even for Devon to be like, appealing is just another word for, attractive, okay. Physically, there might not be things that, but there are things about her that you basically do find attractive, which ultimately at the end of the day, it was that. So, and basically, what does he need or whatever to kind of like help to catapult, things forward? And obviously, he wants, a deeper connection as well, with Jasmine. So, instead of basically kind of like giving up when she's giving these simple one-minute answers, follow up with a question, Great idea, Devon. Like, exactly. Yeah, pull it out. Pull it out. Ask some more freaking questions. And heck, her mom told him to do that. It's like, bruh, stop with this mess. Stop with these excuses. All right, he's like, all right, he does want to be, more intimate or whatever or whatnot. Y'all know the hand holding, the hugs, the small kisses have basically went away the moment that the whole physical attraction thing has like gone into play. So again, at the end of the day, all this is going to just come down to effort. And I think what was mostly disappointing was even still after all that, even still after sitting with Devon, and then after like you hear that your spouse is having a breakdown with the other ladies in regards to how she's feeling about the marriage, you still seem to make a slip up with this situation. Now, it wasn't all his fault, but it was a matter of, bro, it's not even a read the room. It was like, okay, like, this that part I'd be like, but men are stupid. Men are stupid. They don't think. They do some of the stupidest stuff. And so I'm trying to give him grace. It made me mad though that he was like, he felt that it was unwarranted for Jasmine to respond the way she did. And maybe because I probably would have did the same thing. Like, I can be a little loud with my outbursts sometimes, especially when I feel like I'm just like here with it. So before getting all like deep into that, let's talk about it. So the couples, all meet up, like I said, at this little, whiskey festivity. And of course, we can leave it to Nicole to, be that person to like initiate the conversation, kind of be in everybody's business. I mean, it always seems like it's always one. And it's for the most part, it's usually innocent. And it's like I feel like the couples need it though, because without that type of person, I feel like they won't be challenged to have certain conversations or to address maybe some issues that may be going on in the marriage, and as well just to talk about some things because they may not be talking about it with each other, as the couples. So you know, again, Jazz talked about, having that breakdown. And ultimately, at the end of the day, she does need to listen to the ladies. And she does need to listen to the professionals. If he don't know this, like all this is just like, you gotta tell him. He needs to know, and he needs to feel these exact emotions of how you're feeling. Now, I already told y'all that Aries is a freak. He is waiting on her to just snap on his and be like, bruh, I'm sick of this. I'm like, I need you. He need to be checked. He wants to be checked, okay? That's what get him on. And I need Jazz to come out of this little nice, non-confrontational character, and I need her to get in there and get in his ass. Okay, so talking about that, and then they also just got to talking a little bit deep, and I think it was kind of like in that direction, and just talking about how some of them had lost individuals because of things going on with them on the inside, and they weren't expressing it out loudly. And actually this moment, actually, I'm trying to keep my own little stuff together because I feel myself getting emotional all over again. Y'all know how I do here. When I watch Married at First Sight, yes, it's entertainment as well. I watch it to learn things about myself. I watch it to learn things about relationships. I watch it to learn things about a marriage. And I do become a lot of self-aware with a lot of this stuff, especially when they're meeting with the professionals and they're kind of like having these counseling sessions or whatever or whatnot. And so even with them, and it was Shaq who opened up and was basically said like, I was that person. Everything looks great on the outside, but on the inside, like you're just struggling with, so much. And while I don't think I have, unless it's like anxiety or something like that, which I don't I've not recognized a mental illness within myself, but I do know that I can make everything like I'm a person who everything looks great on the outside. I'm the person that everybody reaches out to for their problems and a release on me, but nobody really knows what's going on behind these doors. Nobody really knows what I struggle with on the inside. And I really had a little breakdown in the moment, and it was like, okay, Ashley, like, all right, we see things within yourself, and as well, this is something that the fact that it impacted me the way it did, even though I didn't necessarily agree with the whole thing, it was like, okay, Ashley, it has to be some type of truth to this. Maybe no, you don't have like a mental, disability or capability, or it may not look like this, or may not look like that, but you do that. You do have a way of kind of like letting everybody dump on you and you not even dumping back. You do have a way of like showing that everything is okay, and really like you end up finally breaking and a lot like lets loose because it's been being held in and you haven't let it out and let somebody know that, yo, I'm not okay. And when he said that, like, yo, do you see me, it's like, what's up, bro? So thank you. Thank you, Shaq, because this episode definitely helped to make me really think about some things and how I'm handling things and making people think that basically I'm okay when really I may not be. So it was a moment, and I'm glad that they were even able to have that moment, but unfortunately that moment was like short-lived. And I do believe like a little bit of Kirsten's defense, because like, at the end of the day, they were sitting beside each other. We can't see if like she has really her arm around him, or his arm was on his leg, which like I think she was saying. And Nicole, being Nicole, jumped in very quick and started to chime in, and really like Kirsten said, like I really didn't really like get a chance to say anything. But for me, like and not that it's a good thing, I can be somewhat of an interrupter. So while you're saying this, I would have been, babe, wow, oh my goodness, like leaned into him and just like he would have just felt my energy. But everybody doesn't. One thing that what's the name said, it's like you can't prescribe somebody's response. You can't dictate somebody's response, and you can't basically expect them to respond the way you want them to respond or the way you would respond. So I give her grace, in that moment. But at the same time, they were able to resolve something that basically was just a little bit deeper, which was that all in all, it's about, the support. and him not feeling supported. And even in that interaction, you can kind of tell just from Shaq's body language that it wasn't necessarily all resolved then, but it was enough to be like be direct. Like Kirsten is basically saying, I need you to straightforward. You basic like first off, y'all, because Kirsten did reach out to his mom, and like I was trying to figure out, like she's like he is something, he's so stressed and he's just going through so much and blah blah. And I'm like, did we miss something? What is going on? He's been going to conferences. Like, what did we miss? And what we missed was while he was on his last trip, he found out that he would not be graduated on time. And it's really, taking a toll and taking, an effect on him. And I feel like as well, for one, I want to go ahead and like hit on this because I know I think it had showed up in the after party, and somebody had made a comment, and I think they read it on the after party last week. And basically it was like Shaq is talking about like what he needs, and what he needs, and what about what Kirsten needs and what Kirsten needs. And I feel like my sister sent me something. I feel like she made a valid point. One, before I make that valid point, I'll say this. Just because we don't see it happening doesn't mean, or being talked about doesn't mean it's not happening. Clearly, him being supportive to Kirsten is not an issue. Otherwise, that would be a thing. No. But also, I want to say that, and of course, chime in y'all in the comments if you agree or disagree. My sister had sent me like a little piece of something that Michelle Obama had said. And she said that basically marriage is not always 50-50. It's not always 50-50. She was like, in some moments, you may be having to give the 80% and they're only giving 20, or the 70, or, and as well, the role will switch. They may be given all of this. And I felt like it also applied to Nicole and Chris. And we're going to get there. But in relationships, right, it's not always going to be even. At some moment, you may need more from me at times, and there may be a shift later on where it vice versa. Am I making sense? And so in this, even in the situation with Nicole and Chris, I feel like that, that's where we're at. Granted, they are excuse me, y'all, new into this marriage. But Shaq is going through a very important moment for him, in his life right now, with going to school and trying to graduate, and bettering himself. And he needs that support. We don't know how later on how that can change, where Kirsten might decide, not even that, something could happen with Kirsten's parents. And he just might have to like just be there more to support her now, and being there for her. And I think I'm making sense. I think with that example, like, you can get what I'm saying. So let's try to take the judgment and the he wants. What about he wants? What about her? What about her? Yes, it is about her. But some in marriage, I wish I didn't. What I felt like what she said was like so valid. It's not always going to be 50-50. We're not always going to be given the same amount of percent. And in this moment, that's exactly, I feel like, what's happened with them, as well with Nicole and Chris, because Nicole feels like, Chris is helping her so much more. And Chris, he laid that out real nice. Like, girl, what you're going through is basically something that I've kind of like already healed from. And us being in this process, it's just now like being pushed to the forefront, where you were like, it was in the, kind of like the back burner now. And now you're just faced to deal with it. Yes, I am having to put this out there more, but it's okay. It's okay. And why it's okay? Because this is marriage. It's not always going to be even. It's not always going to be even. And we take off that expectation. It's not, don't make this a tit for tat, like type of thing. For like, that's what it reminds me of. It's like a tit for tat. So if I did this for you, then you need to be doing this for me. And da, da, da. That's not marriage. That's not marriage. I don't believe that's relationship really all in general, or whatever, or whatnot. So I feel like we kind of like low-key jumped all over the place, but it's okay. It's all right. I think we were still, technically at the whiskey event. So Fast forward, this Priya was her name or whatever, whatnot. Like, and for a second, y'all, I was feeling some type of way because I was like, first off, don't she see that they all coupled up? Why did she decide that she just gonna choose Aries? Why? Because he just standing there like it, y'all. It made me mad. It made me mad. But listening to the other couples and watching the after party and how they've been talking about, like, clearly I saw that she grabbed him up. It wasn't like, he just decided to go and just dance with her. He grabbed him up. She grabbed him up. Apparently, he was the one who just really wasn't getting the steps. But it was still like, but y'all not, she not helping him line dance right now. Y'all are just doing some regular dancing. Y'all just dancing right now. Like, what did he need help with to regular dance? Like, I don't know. I ain't like it. I felt like I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like how she did that, y'all. I really didn't. And maybe I'm wrong for thinking that there was some type of intention in that, but it was just like, no. It was innocent, so they say. So I'm gonna digress, but either way, I ain't like it. I ain't like it. I ain't like none of it. And so, with everything that they're going through, like, Jazz is like, I'm done. I can't. I just can't, because it was like, sir. And I'm glad he did. It took, apparently Shaq to tell him, but I'm glad he did go after him, and I'm glad that Jasmine went on and expressed to him right then and there, like, yeah, this is it. This is what's wrong. Even though he felt like that behavior was unwarranted, it caused the scene, whatever, like, maybe she didn't have to act like that. But you know what, y'all? I'm letting her have it. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna let her have it because I feel like it's building up for her, and that's what I feel like is what it was. And it was just like, you know what, like, bro, like, ugh, fuck it. Basically, like, I'm sorry. I felt her, so he can have his feelings. That's what I felt. She would, like, you know what, bump this. Like, I ain't doing this with this guy. So I was nervous after that. Like, I really, like, was just like, woo, boy, like, who knows, like, where this is gonna go, from here. So outside of, Devon coming and talking with our couples, it was also just another time for the professionals to come in and talk to the couples. Like, we're getting so close. I think when we left at the end of the episodes, we were like 10, 11 days left from decision day. Like, that's less than 2 weeks. And I'm like, things can turn over, but an effort actually has to be made, I feel like, in order for things to turn over. I don't know if it's going to be a huge thing where all of a sudden by decision day they're going to be all like in love, but at least something to be like, you know what, we are starting to, like, we're just getting here. It did take a while, but we want to go ahead and keep on putting in this effort. We may be starting to feel a little bit something. Like, we like where this is going with the efforts. That, you get what I'm saying? So yes, we want to go ahead and continue to move forward, because right now I just don't know. And Devon brought that up, and it was just like you need to do something so that later on you're not, oh, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have did that, because that's where you are going to be. Because right now, it's going to be so easy to just say no at decision day, because y'all been dealing with this whole issue the entire time of, I'm not attracted. Don't let that be an excuse, because it's an excuse at this point. It is. And I lied, y'all. That wasn't actually Devon that had said something to them that was like, I ain't gonna say detrimental, that I just felt like was a gem. It was Dr. Pepper or whatever, whatnot, because we managed to, what they communicated with Devon about what they wanted were what they were able to communicate, to each other, which is putting the effort on that intimacy, making that effort to, like, bro, you don't even text her? You don't even text? Like, bro, I'm trying to give grace, maybe out of sight, out of mind, because of the non-connection. It's just so easy to go about it. But I'm like, you're not trying, bruh, and it's pissing me off. It's really pissing me off. So I just feel for Jasmine, and I'm just so disappointed for her, because it's like, bro, you be giving the tools, 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 and you still ain't doing anything. Still ain't doing nothing. And then even how he tried to explain it to him as to why, he can put the effort into his job, and why he's not putting the effort. Like, it was like, wait a minute, what? What? I was confused. I didn't get it. Like, okay, either way, they're in it, y'all. And basically, what did Dr. Pepper say? What was the gem that Dr. Pepper dropped? Which was, small efforts go great distances. Small efforts go great differences. And so, Dr. Pepper made them promise that they were going to do these things. Not try, but they were going to do these things, i.e. him taking out time of a time to actually text her to see how she's doing, creating that habit. And as well, I think their other thing was hugging. Hugging before leaving out the door, and hugging coming back in coming in, from the end of their work day or whatever or whatnot. So we gonna see, y'all. We're gonna see, we're gonna see, we're gonna see, we're gonna see. So talk, like, even, let's go ahead and getting into, Kirsten and, Shaq. His big gem was, unspoken expectations are relationship killers. Boy. And also just letting him know, bringing it to Shaq, like, bro, you can't prescribe someone else's responses, how someone is going to respond. And that's basically, what he wants, what he was doing, to Kirsten. Like that. It's what they're going through. I think is like like literally they're, as Nicole was saying, like, y'all both are saying the same thing, and it's just so frustrating to be able to see it, because it's just like, okay, I need y'all to see that. Like, I need y'all to see that. And so, like, she's feeling like she's putting in that effort of support. He's not feeling supported. And okay, now how can we put that down? And no, really, the way Devon Franklin was able to break that down, as far as taking off those, for one, the silent killers, the fact of he has an expectation for the support but isn't really saying it, and then gets mad because it's not showing up in the way that he wants to. Wow, let me tell you how much I do that in my relationships, okay? Like, or I wouldn't say my relationships, but it definitely happened in my past relationship. That's why I was like, oh my God, like, whoo, come on, Devon, drop them on me. Drop them on me. What else you got for me? Y'all just keep dropping them on me, okay? Just keep dropping them on me. And I ain't got nothing else for them. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing really else for them, y'all. Like, there's the better communicative that they can be, as they continue to learn about each other's how communication styles, what each other needs, and being clear and each other needs. They'll be fine. Oh no, how could I forget that he went on and dropped the bomb at the Jake, that they had consummated the marriage? Because I remember last week, y'all remember, like, I was like, there's no way they have not had sex yet. There's no way they have not had sex yet. And they were kind of like making it seem like they hadn't had sex. And so when they were talking about it, because I think one of the ladies was like, well, did you tell, Shaq what you told us or whatever or whatnot, about that he just need to light some candles, do some this, do some that. And so I think they were just talking. Oh yeah. No. That's what it was. Eris was just like asking her, like, okay, so what base are y'all on? And again, she's still hitting around like they're not even having sex. Talk about some at third, close to hitting a home run or something like that. And I was like, wait, first off, what does that even look like in the sex world? Like, wait, what? So overall, he was like, wait, so I haven't taken initiative or haven't been assertive or something like that, she said. And basically, she was like, be assertive, man. Eris put his head high, poked his chest out, and was like, we have consummated our marriage. I was like, son, the way he took that, he was like, yup, give me mine. Yup, I sure did. I was like, you better. I love, like, I ain't got much on them, y'all. I ain't got much on them. They had a good sit down with Devon, and they gonna be straight. Gina and Clint though. One, I recognized Clint love language the moment, he was talking about cooking for how he just loves cooking for others, and how it just makes him feel and other people feel. I was like, bro, acts of service is definitely like his love language. Like that's it, like totally or whatever or whatnot. So meeting with Dr. Pepper, it was like, yes, yes, please. It's time to step up y'all game. We need to get this on. We need to get this going. So boom. We need to get some stuff going, some exercise going to help basically like bring y'all hearts together. Watching basically certain type, of movies. Having them freaking hold hands. Having them say things about each other that each other didn't know. And it was that like it that I like what, and for me I always just feel like it's Gina the one that's really like holding off this marriage, like progressing, for her like really have something and really express it and sound genuine in it. It was like, okay, like no, like you like this guy, but it's just not getting past the friendship point. Like, what is it? Like, what is going on? What are we missing already? Because I'm like, and what else was another? Was that it? Was just the, yes, and basically saying what they need from each other or whatever or whatnot. And of course, good old Gina doesn't really know, couldn't really figure it out. It was hard for her because she's independent to a fault. Ugh. I love Gina. She's the cutest thing, but she drives me a little bonkers sometimes, and I think it's just because I feel like she's what's holding up this marriage. Because I definitely feel like if she was given more of the green light, oh yeah, like Clint would be all over her, like whatever. Like Clint is the bomb. Did you see Clint's moves? Did you see Clint's moves? And he had no shame. He had no qualms. The boy is a good time, okay? The guy is a good time. Sorry, Clint's like my favorite. Like that's it. That's all. Like he ain't gonna never do no wrong in my eyes. Well, no, not for real. But like I really like Clint, and I feel like he can bring such a side out of Gina, and I don't know. I think what's crazy is I see like they're small, they're small, these small efforts, that they're making, and then but then it's like, okay, there's no need to get invested in this, Ashley, because what's going to happen in the future. It's just a matter of when. I feel like it's taken so long for us to get to him and Dominique kissing. Like, what happens? I feel like I talk about this every episode. That's because like we get closer and closer, but we're just not there yet already. Like, I need to know. But clearly this is going to happen probably next episode when they take their like their last when they do like their and is that like their yeah, it's like their anniversary trip. It's like their anniversary trip of being married for like a month or whatever or something like that. Well, yeah, the anniversary trip where they all go away together again as a couple. I feel like it's definitely going to happen then. And if it's not then I have no idea. Y'all definitely gotta let me know what y'all think of when things are going to pop. So we touched base on, like Nicole and Chris, and even her just talking with Pastor Cal about I feel like it's one-sided because he helps me more and blah blah blah. And Nicole can seem like very needy. She can, because for a second, like I was confused. I'm like, bro, you're confusing him. You're gonna have this man all messed up because one, you're saying yes, don't let me be alone, but I do want to have space. But no, I need you to clear this up a little bit more. And I felt like she tried to clear it up, and I still felt like Chris was looking like me, was just still very confused. Like, bruh, like, I'm gonna fuck this up. Like, but I love Nicole. I really do. And like she is definitely a girl that I would love like just to hang out with, to be around. Like she's definitely a friend that I know that I would just uplift and love on just like so much. And especially going you can tell like definitely her and Kirsten's relationship is like very close. So one, these ladies don't know each other, and everybody isn't as comfortable being somewhat nude, around others. Not that she was but also nude, but it's the level of nudity at the same time when you are in when you're in lingerie, and it just recognize one, I'm not like nudity doesn't like freak me out. Like, it's nudity. we're all naked. We've all been naked. We've all pretty much got the same thing: titties, a penis, or vagina, or butt. Like, so it doesn't make me squeamish or whatever. It doesn't make me crazy. Like, oh my God, I don't want to see you naked. Like, girl, let me see it all. Let me see it all. I done seen all my friends naked, okay? I done seen all my friends naked. So I love that, they had that bond, and she was there to, like, girl, like, boost up her confidence, support her in wanting to step out of her comfort zone because she has body image issues. And I just felt like she just felt real supported and really uplifted and going out and getting lingerie and looked sexy, okay? Nicole, you got it going on, girl. And Chris love you. Chris dropped the L bomb, and even in talking about that in their issue. And I think I clearly had already hit on it, on how she feels like he gives so much more for her right now or whatever or whatnot, because she's still dealing with a lot of her issue, self sabotage and things like this whole girl. It was like and it's so self-sabotage, because it was literally like, how did we get here? I had never heard Nicole talk about this whole he didn't pick me type of thing. And it was like, girl, what? And one thing about Pastor Cal, he could be like, girl, stop it. All right, that's enough. We're not going to do that, okay? Like, he did pick you. He did pick you. And I'm going to tell you how. He picked you and you picked him when you laid out in the lines who you wanted, who he wanted. That was you. He picked you, baby. So that little devil got to go. Got to go. We are in control of all the negativity that comes upon. I ain't gonna say that comes upon. I can't remember what Pastor Cal said, but any negativity that we have, or negative thoughts we have control over that. We have control to kick that thing where it's supposed to be kicked at and keep it moving or whatever or whatnot. And really, that's a conscious effort every day to do that. And I think as well with Chris, she's able, he can help her to do that. Because at the end of the day, right, I don't know if it's necessarily anybody's responsibility to handle your baggage, but I think it shows a level of love and care. And it's another word that I want to use that's not coming up with, for someone to say, hey, I see your baggage and I see this, and you know what? I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. We can work through this together. And especially with the fact that Chris has been there before, I think that as well makes it, I ain't gonna say easier for him, but, doesn't make it just so challenging, I guess, so to speak, or whatever or whatnot, y'all. So, and right, he was just saying, like, I'm in this. I'm here. And that's because I love you. And he had been feeling it for a while, just had not said it. Of course, like, but remember, she had been asking him since day one, like, does he love her yet or whatever. So I clearly, I think we knew it was there. And I think just them finally saying it was just like they are really the poster couple for the rest of the couples. Like they, I know some of the other couples want to get to, where they are. And they've just done tremendous, work since the beginning and getting deep and just, I love them. I love them. This was a good episode, y'all. I really would love to hear your thoughts. If anything, after all of it, the naysay of the whole Nicole and Chris situation is, could the negativity get too much for Chris? And I feel like that could only be if she is not actively working on it. Because, right, if you're just going to continue to be negative and negative and negative, I think that can impact anybody, especially when you know that you can be this way and you're not doing anything to try to fix it and so, to overcome it and to deal with it. So if you made this far in the video, let me know your thoughts. Drop me as well. Let me know your thoughts. Or drop me some purple hearts down in the comments below if you enjoyed the video. I hope that you would give this video a big old thumbs up. And overall, if you liked me and the video, and if you want to go check out some more videos to confirm that you like it, girl, I hope that you would decide to subscribe. We are working on getting to 200 subscribers by the end of April, and I know y'all are here and y'all want to support your girl. So I appreciate y'all sitting with me, talking with me, and I'm going to catch y'all later.